It's going. So welcome everybody. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm Ivy Rivera, Psychic Medium. This is the Ask a Medium show on Facebook and Instagram Live, where I take your personal questions and I give your weekly horoscope, your short scope, for this upcoming week. I do want to say though, real quick before I do that, I will be putting up monthlies on my YouTube channel, so please subscribe. It's called Ask a Medium, Reverend Ivy Rivera. And I do have a Victorian tea gallery show at the hauntingly beautiful Margin Manor Winery Mansion coming up on Sunday, June 30th. So I do a gallery show, I read the audience, and then I do private reads after. I am also running my annual summer sale. Buy one reading, get the second one, 50% off. That ends on the 4th of July. So take advantage on the website, and the link is up above. Okay, let's get right to it. So I am reading your short scope, your horoscope for Thursday, June 20th to Thursday, June 27th. What is going on? Don't forget about me over here. You know, who knows where I'm going to go. Try to go in order.
Yes.
Let's start with Aries. What do I have going on for you, Aries? Oh, I have a little fire coming out of you and your mouth. I have you being frustrated. I have you getting frustrated with somebody, a situation. And it's like you're reverting back to some childlike tendencies with this, where you maybe want to say everything that you're feeling. You want to say everything that you're thinking. You just had enough. I want to validate that you have been pushed. I also think that it's wise, and for some of you, I'm feeling more grandfather, paternal energy coming in here, and for some of you, I'm feeling more like mothers, mamas, grandmoms coming in here. There is a time for everything. There is a season for everything, and sometimes if you wait, the situation will expose itself, or the person will hang themselves, or you could find that it is witnessed from outsiders and handled for you, okay? Now, I'm not saying stifle yourself until you've got tumors and ulcers and, you know, you're losing it, but there is a time and a place for everything, and you may need to follow very carefully your intuition this week to figure out when exactly you should speak up and hold back. I have Thursday and Friday being big days for you in this topic, but also in love. I have you being very, very wrapped by those around you that you have possibly been overlooking. If you have a love partner, a spouse, or a child who's been trying to get your attention and give you love, make sure you're paying attention to what they're giving you. Even if it isn't the way that you normally receive love, it doesn't mean they're not giving it. People give love in different ways, okay? Taurus, what's going on with you for the week? Okay. I have you pedaling forward on what feels to me a bicycle, which is a prosperity symbol. I have you going in a free will direction, meaning that you are working your own karma. It's nose to the grind. It's taking responsibility. It is, I will reap what I sow. Now, I have you doing this for a fairly significant period of time, probably the next 4 months or so. And it's almost like you just launched. These are like new beginnings. You're doing something brand spanking new. I do want to say that just a little ways into this new, let's just call it a project, this adventure, it's as though it turns over here to the right. And what that means is it is going in a destiny charted direction. The universe has been waiting on you to see if you would actually take the steps forward that you were told to take, because you had been hesitating on them for quite a while. And once you did this, it's as though all the blessings are pouring out upon you, and you automatically start moving very quickly into a destiny charted, easy, blissful type of direction with this. I have eyes being on you. I want to say Friday and Saturday, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I have eyes being on you and people saying to you, come this way, or do this for me, or I'm interested in what you do or how you represent. And you may want to be taken under that wing, even if you feel about these people like, oh, well, you only showed up in my shining moment. Everybody only shows up in your shining moment. That's what people do, you know? So don't like judge it negatively just because that happened. So they saw you shining. There's no harm in this. Gemini, what's going on with you for the week? I have a very powerful position coming up out of your throat. So it feels as though any Geminis who have either been one of two things, you have a closed throat chakra due to the fact that you have not been communicating your truth. You have not been speaking your piece. It's either that or you did and it was not received. It was disrespected. You now have a boundary issue going on with the situation or a person. What I feel for you is letting go of this with a reevaluation of your thinking and an honest approach to this problem where you take a different path saying, this is the boundary, this is not going to affect me mentally, emotionally. If there is nothing I can do about this situation, I'm no longer going to be affected by it. And that I do control. So it would appear that come next Wednesday, you're hitting some type of a breakthrough with this if you can stay consistent with that attitude. And I feel really good about it, especially leading into Thursday, because it seems like there can actually be some money and prosperity that comes in following that decision. There is some talk of an old love partner, Geminis, trying to get back in, get their foot in the door. I see somebody shoving their foot in the door. And how do I want to say this? They know that they don't belong there and they really don't have anything new to offer you. All right. So you might just want to be like, shut the door on their toe or just be like, no thanks, you know. Cancer, what's going on with you? I have you really focused or needing to be focused on your health, your well-being, the food that you're eating, thinking of food in terms of it being medicine, food as nutrition. Avoid unhealthy eating habits. And if this is something you've been considering for a long time, getting on the right track with all of this, this would be the week for you. I also have a lot of love and encouragement coming up from behind you, and that feels to me like ancestors and guides beating on drums, which is tribal and it's ceremonial, and it is in this particular case cleansing. There is a mountain that you've been climbing and you seem to be absolutely exhausted. I want to say that for some of you, it feels like it's in a relationship, a strained relationship. And for some of you, I do feel like it's work and money. For others, I want to say that you might be having a breakthrough on real estate. But it seems to me that you're approaching a point in trying to climb this mountain where you're just utterly exhausted, and it's almost like your ancestors are helping and shoving you up to the top. So this does feel to me like a breakthrough week. I feel like there's an old relationship. For many of you, it feels to me like a brother-sister type of a relationship, or we would say a really deep friendship that's going to be surfacing from your past. And I feel like you need to embrace that and bring that back into your life. For those of you who haven't been hanging out with friends, you really need to. Especially for those of you who've been so tied up in a relationship that you've been avoiding your friendships, this is a week for friendships. Leo, what's going on with you? I have your feet on fire, your feet on fire. It's interestingly enough coming from the past, which means this has been here a minute. I feel like it's maybe only been a week. For some of you, I feel like maybe it's been a whole month, but they keep mentioning one. Now, what's going on with this is that your work and your relationships are going to be affected by this fire on your feet. It is as though you are cleansing and burning away the old land. I think of farmers who burn the land behind them, and it's like you're leaving that, you're cleansing it out, you're leaving your past behind. The fact that your feet are moving this quickly, it isn't just from the heat. It is also just a choice that you have made once and for all to progress forward in your lives. And I want to say for almost like half of you to 75% of you, it feels very much like this unbridled happiness, this goal achievement. And Thursday and Friday, I'm seeing, it's almost like guidance coming down. So whether we say like God is giving you this guidance, the universe is giving you this guidance, your higher mind, you're receiving guidance about where exactly you're supposed to be going next. I see you writing it down, getting it on paper, having a plan moving forward. Good for you. You're also getting rid of a lot of dead relationships that no longer deserve your attention. If you cannot leave yet, you at least need to know that you don't have to feed it with dialogue. Doing it again. Virgo. What's going on with Virgo? Are you keeping an eye?
Yep.
All right, Virgo, what's happening with you? I have somebody coming up behind you, and it felt like they pushed you. That is an encouragement of sorts, but then it was almost as though they stopped and they were tapping you on the shoulder. So I feel like you guys might be having some interesting visits. Yes, from spirits this week in general. Watch your dreams. But it also feels to me like an old circumstance that has been swept under the carpet, skeletons in the closet, unfinished business. Something from behind you is coming up and tap, tap, tap. And that little shove that it gave is an indicator that it's time, all right? So you're going to want to process what is going on with this. It does feel to me that a lot of it has to do with a communication with somebody else. And in this circumstance, it's almost as though you said what you felt you should. It didn't go very well, and you may have pulled away and hidden away. And again, I feel this immature energy where you're reverting back to a childlike state where I'm just going to avoid this person or avoid this situation at all costs. I don't want to look at it. And it's like you can't avoid it forever, okay? So be a grown-up, follow through, let it go. I also have some business opportunities coming in for you. It would have looked like it was two, but when it comes in, it's almost like one whole unit. And that feels to me like later in to next week. So I want to say around Thursday, Friday. Watch for that, sign that deal. Libra. I'm hearing a new vehicle for a lot of you. And I feel like I'm talking about Wednesday. I'm talking about Thursday. Thursday, Libras. I also have number patterns following you. So you're going to have to Google those. Numerology is so important. Our angels, our spirit guides, our deceased loved ones. Everybody uses numerology. There's a lot of this coming up for you in terms of change. So I see change in a few different areas. With this new vehicle, for those of you who aren't literally getting a new vehicle, it can also represent that you're coming into, it's like you're coming more into your power, but not in a hoity-toity or egotistical way, or it doesn't even feel like power. It's more like when you go from having a junk car to a really nice car. It's more about stability. It's about something that you can count on. It's about that smooth, easy ride. It's about that new car smell. It's about all of that luxury that comes along with this maturity that you earned. So I see prosperity coming back to you for things that you earned. There's a lot of talk of love on Tuesday, and it feels to me like it's romantic. For a lot of you, you may be getting a proposal, setting that wedding date. For some of you, it might just be something very loving and adoring coming from, like, you know, friends or a child. But it feels to me also like new relationships, new love coming in. Am I right?
Yeah.
Scorpio, what's going on with you? Scorpio, I just saw a snake coming from the right side, which is the future destiny charted, slithering over here. Okay. You have some things going on over here to the future that are going to require that you pay attention to the fine detail. Dot your I's, cross your T's, read the fine print. Now, it's almost as though you may find yourself in a circumstance where somebody thinks they're going to pull the wool over your eyes. They don't know who they're dealing with, because it, interestingly enough, was you as this snake. It is also, I like snakes. So I see them, on a side note, I see them as more of a protective symbol and as health and wellness and things like this. But when we're talking about a snake in the grass, obviously we're talking about something crafty, potentially. I love that you became the snake and that you're capable of protecting yourself in this situation, outsmarting the other guy. Here's the tricky part. When it comes to the table in the forefront that you caught it, and for some of you this could be a cheating partner or spouse or someone not giving you the truth about a situation, double talkers, double-minded, two-faced, things like this. When you catch the situation and it's out there, it's almost as though they quickly try to revamp it and change it, and I don't know that all of you are supposed to completely eliminate this. So you're going to have to use your judgment, okay? And that might require that you really just have your back up for a while, or you start handling this situation differently than what you were. For those of you that are in business, if you feel you have to walk away, so be it. For those of you that can still work with it, there is still money to be made in this. So again, you're going to have to use your judgment. Sagittarius, what's going on with you? Books. Balancing the books, balancing your money, taxes, figuring out what you owe, figuring out how you can better your finances, and what's going on for the upcoming year for your business plans and your budgeting in your personal life. The other thing that I have for you is learning and education. I feel that there's a situation where you may have just been offered another job or a promotion or a move upward, or it's suggestive that you could maybe or should be going for something else. And without the proper training and education, you could find yourself treading water. For those of you who have not been utilizing your degrees, your previous training and education, you really need to take that and like blow the dust off of it and see if you can put it back into practice. For some of you, I have you dealing with a lot of health issues. Not you in particular, but possibly in your circle. That could be your parents or other people in your close circle. And I need you to, I want to say, really moderate your level of giving. Make sure that you're creating enough time for yourself to balance this out. Is that Sag?
Correct.
Capricorn, what's going on with you? Talk. You may find yourself in a situation where you feel that you have said everything you can really say. Then I have the other person saying it's almost far more than what you even said. And when I'm watching this dialogue, it's like no one's really listening to the other person. Some people are just waiting for their turn to talk. If you find yourself battling up against someone who is not receiving you, it may be wise to just pull your energy back and take a day off and go to the beach, is how it feels to me. I think that there are a couple different circumstances in your life right now that you could use all of this positive energy toward, but because you're being drained by this person in this situation, it's not going to be there when you need it. So be mindful about that. I also have some younger people needing you. Now, this could be adults that are just maybe immature in their growth or need your support. This could be children, grandchildren, students, things like that, younger people at work. But I have you being needed, and I want to say Thursday of next week, and it would be really nice if you could be there for this person or these people, and that might happen more in the morning into the afternoon, and there's some kind of recognition that goes along with it. I'm not saying you're winning an award for it per se, and of course we don't want to do good deeds just to get a reward per se, but if the recognition is there, it's certainly of no harm, and you should really interact with the person who saw what happened, okay? It's beneficial to you in the long run in a couple different ways. Aquarius, what is going on with you? I have a lot of you going on a vacation. Aquarius, I have like seahorses and octopus and all kinds of strange looking sea animals. So a lot of you may be going away. You need to take that time down at the water or out into nature. I feel a very romantic, almost fairy-like, you know, some people are like, I'm just going to get away and be the mermaid version of myself. I feel like that's what this is all about for you this week. And even if the beginning of the week is really hard, nose to the grind, constant work, feeling as though you're just treading water, it's almost like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have these big hits of release. And I feel great about that. So this is the week to, you know, eat the cookie, buy the shoes, and pamper yourself. For those of you who have a spouse that has been a little bit overbearing, a little too nosy, a little judgmental of what you want to do, some of you seem to be in relationships with an astrological sign that maybe you shouldn't. There's not a lot of compatibility. One person is snuffing the other person out, and you might be the one getting snuffed. My feeling is that you're going to be able to confront this situation, and it might finally find some type of resolution so that maybe you guys can actually go forward. So for some of you, this is like your mother, okay, or your father. Pisces, last one of the zodiac. What's going on with you? I feel you losing steam a little bit, losing your power, losing your energy level. So I see you kind of, you know, struggling along with a limp and using a crutch. My feeling with this is that this doesn't have to happen, or this didn't have to happen, but you may have been spreading yourself a little too thin. I also get the feeling that you've been spending a lot of time alone, and it's almost like trying to live in books or live in a fantasy world or disconnect, live in your Netflix series, whatever it is. I feel like you staying in this space for this upcoming week is not really the most healing thing that you need to do for yourself. So if you want to fix this lack of power, you may want to get back out there and rejuvenate by being around the right people. I also feel like you're having some strain in relationships where you may be feeling like no one is understanding you, or people are threatening your security in some way or your self-image in some way. And I want to say that this is a week to be bold. So if you're feeling that, say something about it. Don't go back into your cave, but make it clear, no, you're wrong. This is who I am, or this is how my response is to what you said. Put it out there. It doesn't have to be a full-blown conflict. Sometimes you can just retaliate properly, and it's not seen as an aggressive attack, even though in your head it was going to be, okay? It's just seen as assertion and honesty. It also feels to me like you might have some kind of an award or a reward coming in, so whether it's like Employee of the Month or it's something of honors with your education. It seems a small promotion. Seems something could be coming in Tuesday or Thursday of this upcoming week. Okay, thanks everybody. These horoscopes will go up on YouTube. For everybody watching through Instagram and Facebook, we are about to start the show. We're going to get to your questions next. And everyone on YouTube, I appreciate your likes, shares, and subscriptions. Take care.